I think he may be the funniest person I've ever met. The way I describe him is he's dangerous funny. Like if you were driving a car, you will definitely crash into a tree from laughter.
Steve Carell, right? He plays one of the imaginary friends, Blue, in the movie, but also plays Michael Scott in The Office.
Sure does.
Who you, as Jim, had so many scenes with.
Yeah.
And I heard that you two were the worst for corpsing and laughing and...
That's very sad that you throw him into it. It was really me that was awful.
Really?
He was a professional that I just ruined all these takes. There is something, I think he may be the funniest person I've ever met. The way I describe him is he's dangerous funny. Like if you were driving a car, you will definitely crash into a tree from laughter. But he's so subtle and he's so very good at making you laugh. That outtake of him playing Santa is the greatest.
Oh my
It's the only time in the career of The Office that I said to the cameraman, because they always swing to see what Jim thinks of everything, and I turned to the cameraman and I went, "Don't do it. I will not be here when you pan over." And sure enough, they go to an empty slot because I had left the room.
That comes up on my TikTok at least once a week. At least. Do you know what I think is the biggest compliment is all Brits would say, "Oh, the British version's best. The British version's best," especially when a sitcom has like gone to other countries. You ask most people in this, they probably wouldn't be able to tell you.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm genuinely mean that. That is a compliment.
I agree, because I'm going to admit I resisted for ages thinking that I wouldn't be able to watch another version.
No, your heart was full of hate. I get it.
It definitely started from a place of hate, though. You want to hate it at the start.
But you can't hate it.
And then you fall in love.
You fall in love.
I literally binged all, I don't know, how many is there? Like 15? There's a lot.
There's 9 seasons.
9.
I think it was 209 episodes or something.
Yeah, and it's 20th birthday next year. So
Yes, it started 2005.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you guys going to do to
Oh my
celebrate?
God, I don't know. My brain just exploded. Am I that old?
20 years.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, John, don't.
Oh, no.
Back to the therapy session, everyone.
And I'm
Feel
heading
all right?
into adulthood, back to adulthood. It will be, no matter what I do, it will be the greatest thing I ever did in my career. It gave me absolutely everything. And it's the thing that we all have to be most proud of, because we were all, for the most part, hadn't done anything.
There's a scene in The Office where you say farewell to Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And it's this incredible scene, the 9,986,000 minutes.
Oh, yes.
Quite hard to say.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
And am I right in thinking that whole scene was kept a surprise from Steve?
It was kept a surprise from Steve. So he had no idea what we were singing. And there were a lot of things that week, but that scene is obliterating. We barely got through it. He certainly, I think, was clearly moved, and we used it in the show. But I thought you were going to talk about my goodbye to him was actually our goodbye, because that was his last day on the set. And I think I was the second to last shot to shoot. And we went in there and we both looked at each other, and it was this weird moment where we knew the reality of what we were doing. We were going to pretend to say goodbye when we were really saying goodbye. And it took 17 takes before a word was uttered, because they'd go, "and action," and we'd go, it was so much emotion. And I think it was 17 or 19 takes before we even got a word out, because that was genuinely the most emotional I've ever been with him, for sure.
Oh, my God.
Go back and watch it, guys. That's real tears.
It sounds like you're so personally invested in it. To then walk out the door that day, how did you feel?
Oh, it was obliterating. Greg Daniels did this incredible thing where we had the whole cast for a scene, and the last thing we shot was we were all going to Poor Richard's, which is the bar that the cast always went to. And so he said, "I just need coverage from earlier in the scene where we all leave to go to Poor Richard's." And we said, "Oh, okay, great." And so you have your entire cast going in and out of the door 3 or 4 times. And by the 3rd time, we were kind of messing around and joking, whatever. And on the 4th time, we went out into the hallway to come back to reset. And somehow he had made the whole crew appear. And so all 300 people that were working on the show were behind him. And he said, "That's the end of The Office." And we all just, it's emotional even talking about it.